Hi, happy Saturday. This is Sharon here with another video. Happy Saturday. Hope everybody's having a great day. We are going to talk all about Wendy Williams today because it's been a little quiet. So everybody knows Wendy Williams is if you don't know, Wendy Williams is, first of all, my name is Sharon. I need you to subscribe to the channel and sign up for notifications. That way you can stay in the know. I am trying to build up my network, talking about Kim Kardashian, the Kardashians, Kanye. I'm really trying to build my network up. So if you could like and follow me, that would be great. I'll follow you back too. Okay, so let's get right to the tea. Forget all that stuff. Okay, so Wendy Williams was spotted out, and she looks physically, she looks good. She's walking, her ankles are a little swole, but not that bad. She didn't lift her head to show her face, like she kind of does that, and talks, and she does a little waving and stuff, because, she's constantly hounded by the paparazzi. But she was out, and she looks pretty good. So we do think she's on the mend. It is reported, allegedly, she has people helping her, and everybody she has helping with, no one around her is family or friends right now, because she simply can't trust anybody. She's very, very hurt. And she's very, very hurt for multiple reasons. First of all, her son, Wendy's had a long, long history of addiction. And Wendy has always been the provider to her son and Kevin Hunter, her ex-husband. And she got a show, and she did tremendous, and she was holding it together. But Wendy tried to play like she didn't care. She went and said, he was never faithful. And yeah, that's all true. But the bottom line is, she really, really loved him. She does. And that's okay. She doesn't want to admit it. That's all right. But she has everybody around her. She has somebody helping her make sure she eats. She has somebody that helps her in security, and if she has to go anywhere. Like, the people you see, they're not boyfriends. They're not. They're handlers. They're helping her. So she basically, right now, truthfully be told, the bank did a tremendous favor to her. Really. She would have been, all her money would have been depleted when she went in rehab, if it wasn't the case. She has her son, who has really taken he hasn't spoken much, and if he did an exclusive and tell a lot of things, he would really do well. But I don't think he's going to go that route. I think he's still banking on Wendy. Wendy's getting better. And Wendy, over the years, has had good times and has had bad times. And that's okay. I'm going to put makeup on while we do it. I'm just put a little makeup on. Why not, right? Okay. My hair's a little messy. That's why I had a hat on. I had to take my dogs out. But I'm going to put, this is lip gloss. There's lip gloss. Okay. This is Collagen Booster. I have it on my site. I'll put a link to my site. But anyway, I sell makeup. I sell art, I sell a little combination of other things. So, okay, we'll put that on, let this soak in. So, Wendy's son, hasn't talked to her since everything went down with the eviction in November. Has not talked to her at all. Is very mad at her, as a matter of fact. Reports are coming through that he's very, very, very mad at her. Oh, here's my makeup. And he's mad at her because he shouldn't be mad at her. He's the one that he actually stopped school. If he wanted to get back on getting money, he would just go to school. But he knows the conservators who are actually following her money would only give him what he needs. They would not go any further. They really wouldn't. And they're very strict, and that's good. It's really, really good for Wendy. So she can just have basic needs, that she's not having access to a ton of money just in case she's fallen back off the wagon. And for people to take advantage of her. He's 22 years old. You don't want to go to school. You can't just live off your mom. And the banks, you know, she's not of sound mind right now because she's going through a lot of heartache, a lot of addiction. She's always been through in and out addiction. And she went to a treatment center for about 2 months, which I'm sure she got intense therapy, one-on-one therapy. I'm going to use Thrive. Thrive Cosmetics. This is mascara. Thrive Cosmetics is great. So she's everybody you see. Like, so she has a nurse that checks on her, reportedly, allegedly. She's under a nurse's care. So a nurse comes and visits the house and checks her vitals, checks everything. Then she's under she has a psychiatrist. She's in therapy, and she does therapy 3 to 4 times a week. Intense therapy, you know, about everything. And right now she's feeling very alone. Like, her son is not speaking to her and is mad at her. And you know, she's probably you can't even imagine how upset she is. She's extremely upset. I need a this is eyebrows, and I need oh, here we go. So her son, right? So he's not even talking to her, and he's taking the page out of his father's book. How so? He lives with his father, reportedly, allegedly. He lives with his father, and he doesn't speak to his mother, doesn't go visit her, doesn't do anything. And he said he went up to see her. He went up to see her to make sure the money was okay, because that's when the stuff started happening. He's pretty much, he seems to be a user. But on the same token, and you don't want to, you know, down him, he's a young kid, but he also, you know, he's a young kid, but he's just not there for his mother. Oops, everything's a mess over here. And he doesn't have to be, but he doesn't even talk to her. He's very, very mad at her, supposedly, allegedly. Okay, he's 22 years old. He failed out of school, so he's got to really, if he wants to get back on the school thing, he's going to have to get money to pay for school because of the credits. And I bet if he went to Wendy and the Conservative, he could, but he doesn't want to because he'd only get the money he needs. And that's just not good enough for him. He likes to live a lavish lifestyle, which he's used to. And, you know, he had the girls and the parties and all that stuff. And now, boop, dry. Lives with dad. What did his dad do before why Kevin Hunter went back to Florida is because that's where he originally is from. He actually was, when Wendy met him, he was a salon owner. So he's cutting hair, basically. He's a barber. Nothing wrong with that. And so, a barber doesn't have bag. And, well, reportedly, Sharina Hudson, trouble. Tasha K is reporting that she says allegedly, they are splitting up because they're having a lot of trouble because he's out here claiming I'm broke. He's not really broke. He's not dead broke. He's not dead broke. So he's dead broke. She'd be homeless. And then it'd be all over the news if they were homeless. They're not homeless. So, trouble in paradise because this is a mess. Trouble in paradise. Well, look at it. I mean, she got with him when he was married to Wendy. He bought a $300. Okay, she started off as a masseuse chef, entrepreneur, kind of like trying to find her way, kind of thing. But a masseuse, a chef, had a lot of odd end jobs. Nothing wrong with that. That's how you make millions, really. You're an entrepreneur, and that would explain her interest to Kevin. So think about this. Kevin got with her when he was flowing high in money from Wendy. So, and if you're having a 13 or a 10-year relationship with somebody, right, and you're married, and your wife doesn't know about it, something to be said about that marriage, right? Absolutely. But anyways, so there's Tasha K is reporting there's trouble with Sharina and Kevin because Kevin, Dad Senior, is not a young guy. Is not. Let's just face it. He's not somebody you go after for looks or to be or her to be. He's a sugar daddy. To her, he was a sugar daddy. She got with him. He was with Wendy at the time. He probably showed her so much. He probably started with purses. My guess, Louis Vuitton. And then moved on to car. Let's face it, she was with him all these years. Did she try to get pregnant? That's my question. And the little girl is so adorable. Nothing against her at all. But was that her plan? To she did good timing to do it the way she did it because Wendy was flying high and Kevin was getting alimony. Kevin now's getting no alimony. But Kevin got a lot of things. Kevin had like 7 cars. He's a car fanatic. And I'm trying to turn this off. And he could sell his cars for money. He got money from the sale of the New Jersey house, his and Wendy's house. He got money from the sale of the house that he lived in with Sharina. I believe he moved out of that too. I think he did. I'm not sure if he's still in that or not. But beautiful home. Beautiful home at the time. And he bought it like 10, 11 years ago. You figure him and Wendy did. And it was thought to be, Wendy thought it was a playing house where he would go and have like a man cave, but a house because they're so rich. They don't have a man cave, they have a man house. And the man found a girl. The man enticed her with gifts and bag and all kinds of things. Couldn't imagine how he talked to her. Really sold himself very well. Been with her for many years. She's just like enjoying life, having a beautiful home, having this, and finally probably, she's getting older. Sharina is 36 years old, about 36 years old right now. And she's pregnant. It felt like a family. So she wanted it to be a family. And she actually, I guess, put pressure on him. And plus, he was outed. He knew he was outed. Tasha K is who outed him. Her sources outed him. Tasha K is a blogger. Tasha K got live. You can go. She's extremely hysterical. She's really funny. That's where I get all my exclusive stuff. So what the exclusive stuff she has is that Sharina and Kevin are having problems. It's not the way what he presented in the beginning of this relationship is not going. And his son came out and spoke, but only spoke like just like a kid would. He was so scripted. Kevin completely scripted him to say, okay, you say you had to take care of your mom. You say, he went up there just to see about the money and then left. It seems like him and Wendy are not as close as one would think. She's been on drugs and alcohol and doing her job. Okay, so she would get to, the Wendy show, and she would start at, would start at 10 o'clock. And I think she was live at first. Was she live? I don't know. But anyways, there's a lot to a show. And there's a lot to a show when you go in messed up every day. Drugs, alcohol, whatever. She up and down, up and down, up and down. Her heart must be, I really fear for Wendy and her heart with all this alcohol. So she's basically just a parent who's sitting there just messed up all the time. So what kind of relation? He doesn't really care. He's like, oh. He's like, so at this point, the only way Calvin Hunter is going to get money is if anything happens to Wendy, God forbid. I don't think she's going to have to go back I don't think she's going to go get a real job. And I think Wendy figured that out. And I think Wendy did that on purpose. I really do. I think that, I don't think that this whole thing was planned. I really don't. I think Wendy is very, she's addiction. She has been on it. When she started her talk show, she started off as a DJ. And to keep up with the pace and do all that thing, she was into cocaine. Cocaine for years. And then she moved in and out of different drugs, prescription drugs she was addicted to, alcohol. She's been in rehab numerous amounts of times. So think about this. When you have somebody in your family, like say, that's always messed up, and they're always messed up, not everybody has a great relationship with them because they're like out of it. They're like one step from being like on the street. Not that she ever was, but how can you build a relationship with someone like that? And Wendy painted such a picture of such perfection. Like she had a great marriage. She was never getting divorced and her son was everything to her. And maybe she believed that, but she was busy doing her show. She was up here in New York. And oh, that's right, they're in Florida. They did sell that house. They're in Florida. Sharina Hudson and Kevin are in Florida, senior and junior. They're all in Florida. He owns a barbershop. He actually has a lot of connections specifically within the Black entrepreneurial men circle. So he'll be all right. He really will. And so will his son. But I'm hoping they don't get back on her money because that's ridiculous. Like she had to pay alimony, and now he's not getting anything. And you got to go to a conservative, you got to go to a person who's very it's about what you need, not about what you want. And that's the dilemma that her son's going through right now. So Wendy basically, she doesn't talk to her brother. Her brother he's been quiet for a little bit, but her brother Tommy has constantly been she feels like she can't trust anybody. Her dad is connected to her brother Tommy because Tommy takes care of her dad. And Tommy was doing all these YouTubes and different things, saying different things about her. He's quiet now. Now, is Wendy talking to her dad and her brother? Reports are no. She's not talking to anybody. Everybody around her is paid help too. So poor Wendy, doesn't really have anybody she can trust. But she's in a better shape. Get yourself healthy. Get back on a podcast. Or she says she can't do the everyday thing with her illness. She can't do that. The show. It's very demanding. She couldn't do it. She just can't do it. She can't do it. She's not well enough. So, and could she do stuff from her house? She never did that good. So her podcast, I'm interested. I watched one. It was pretty good. But I think she's going to have to answer a lot of questions. I think she should start talking about her life. Get on YouTube. Tell everybody, put it all out there, Wendy. You put everybody else's, why don't you report on your own stuff? Your son is not talking to you, hasn't talked to you before November because of the eviction. He's mad. He blames Wendy. He blames Wendy completely. He's close to his father because he was always with his father. Wendy was working or messed up. It doesn't sound like she was a very active mother. And it does sound like he's actually closer to Sharina. But Sharina and Kevin Sr. are now having problems. They're going to break up. Supposedly, there's rumors they totally broke up. They're separating. So we're going to stay tuned for that. We're definitely going to stay tuned for that. And we're going to watch Wendy. I told you I was going to be watching Wendy every day. So Wendy got out yesterday. She looks I think she needs a reduction. Because she looks so like she's going to top over with the chest. And they're fake. Just get them off. Well, she's worried about getting healthy right now. And I'm sure she couldn't get plastic surgery approved. She literally has to get everything approved. And that's why you probably saw her smoking a vape. Because she couldn't, it's cheaper than her normal stuff. But I'm sure she's on depression medicine. It crushed her. The end of this marriage crushed her. And everything was so perfect for her until the baby came. She wouldn't care. He could continue to have that. But once a child came, for some reason, It's just too much for Wendy. She always said that. When she talked about other people, she always said that would be a deal breaker, deal breaker, deal breaker. So when I heard that, I knew that. And then she went out on the rails and just, I remember that, and then ended up in rehab. But what a story, a comeback story. And I'm waiting for a comeback story. So this is about like Wendy. Wendy is in our prayers. Give prayers for Wendy. Wendy, if you see this, we love you. Keep going strong. Your fans are here. Maybe get on YouTube and start talking to us. Just go, you could go live in a minute. And then you could go live and talk to us every day or whatever, once you feel better. So let's stay tuned for details in the Sharina Hudson, Calvin Hunter separation. And if it's not true, he's going to be talking about it. So we're going to hear it. So like, follow, share. Remember to subscribe. I need more followers, and I'll follow back. Have a great day.